Hey mates, good afternoon. How are we all doing? I'm over at Greenville Falls once again, because you know, I just love coming here, and especially with how humid it's been getting, it feels good to be next to a stream, and it's just refreshing to just be able to immerse in the water, as it were. I always like this part of the falls because it kind of reminds you of looking at a crescent moon. Like, it basically continues, like it joins here and then it fades in due to past erosion, and then it leads down to the falls, of course. But that's not the only reason that I wanted to make this video. I actually wanted to provide a video of how to use an engineer's compass, which is actually an Ozark brand. So you may be wondering, what is this strange tool? Well, compasses essentially are an instrument that help us know where exactly we want to go, you know, in terms of direction. It helps provide us a sense of just not being lost. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce it. Alrighty, so here we've got ourselves our compass. So currently, just have to wait for it a second. So the main platform of the compass, it's like a flotation device. You can adjust it however you so please. However though, it's preferred to have the compass lie above your thumb. And that's what the gold piece is for. It's a thumb holder. You put your thumb through it. That way it keeps it as stable as possible. So just generally looking at the compass for a second, letting it adjust, we are nearly facing give it a second. Well, either way, from nearly my perspective anyways, we're nearly facing due east, which is 90 degrees. So in terms of degrees, it is 360, which is what makes a complete circle. And then you may be wondering, and those are the outer boundary numbers. So then you may be wondering, what exactly are the numbers lower? You know, the 4, 8, 12, 16. Those actually refer to minutes. Because sometimes location is calculated by using degrees, minutes, and seconds. However, though, that's not usually a common method, though. But sometimes, though, if you're using a map or even working with a specific coordinate, it'll sometimes be expressed in degrees, minutes, and seconds. In other words, it's another means of precision. Okay? So it's actually neat. I actually want to show you guys this. So give me just a second. It's actually a method that you can use with this compass. And you see those two lines there? The main line is actually facing towards the center of the compass. And you see this wire here? That helps make the measurement as precise as possible. But that line right here that has that magnifying glass, it's used as a guide. So give me just a second. Okay, so we have now readjusted it. So this is an actual magnifying glass that you see right here, and that is the upper lid, and they actually intersect with each other. So what's neat is you can actually zoom in and look through the magnifying glass. So right now I'm sort of changing direction. So right now you could say that I'm facing near due east right now. So this is the kind of perspective that I get when looking through the magnifying glass. Quite amazing, isn't it? It's remarkable. So I'm going to show you guys one more method. So this is kind of like the magnifying method, or also known as the cheek method, because you practically bring your face up to it. The other one, there's a particular name, but I like to call it the chest method. And I'll show you guys how that works in a second. Alrighty, so now we have the upper lid completely out, and the magnifying glass is as far as it can go. So this time you bring it up to your chest, and you actually look through the magnifying glass that is on the actual board itself. And that's another way to tell you where you're going. But that's not the only thing. What's neat is you have a second line right to the right, the one that's shorter. You can use that also as a guide. So let's say, okay, let's use this as an example. Okay, so I've been able to readjust the piece. So let's say you need to go due east. Okay, so you're using the short line as a guide. And then the large line, which is to the left, it's offset to the left by 45 degrees. So that way, if you're following a particular path for a certain time, it's a way to basically know if you're on course or not. So like, okay, let's say for instance I walk and I slightly veer off course. You can see that the line no longer matches with the 90 degrees, and neither does the line to the left. So it's just a way to, it's another method that you can use. But yes, compasses are indeed one of the most valuable tools when it comes to navigation. So this is a highly recommended investment, as it were. So, alrighty. I thought I would share that with you guys. Hope you learned something about using a compass. It's a very valuable piece of knowledge, you know, because for all we know, we may not always have GPS. So sometimes we have to look back to our ancestors because they used tools like this back in the day. And that's usually it. Compasses are very reliable because it always points to the north. It's always reliable. However, though, you don't want to bring other metal objects next to it, because what can happen is it can be offset, you know, direction-wise. But that's the point. This will always point towards the north every single time, no matter what direction you go. So, alright mates, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any questions. So, alright, take care, and Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.